Hey guys, welcome back. Belly Beans here to go through letters to the author. And the first one was, I called it Letters to the Author on my new channel. Like I said, I'm getting rid of these letters, but I thought I'd read them to you first. To Zane Gray. This one is from Mrs. Ann Andre. And the date is really hard to read, but it has a really old George Washington stamp. So, and look at the back, how they melted clothes with like those candles that used to smash them closed. Ooh, wow, this one's typed up, so it's not going to be that hard to read, hopefully. Like the other one was kind of hard because it was written in, it was not typed up. So here we go. This is March 18th, 1922. Okay. Dear Zane Gray, I will keep my word and explain full import of the letters I sent on Mr. Hereward Carrington yesterday, and the correct duplicates to you by same ill, which I have no idea what she's talking about. I have no desire to win Mr. Carrington's attention by referring him to you. I do not wish to write a book or have one written. I don't plan personal material gain or publicity, neither would I consent to medium state or laboratory work. I gave you date. That date is for the benefit of all psychological researchers. If Mr. Carrington feels curious or desirous of investigation after the perusals of the letters and communicates with you, grant an interview, and if he ants copies of all or part of them, excerpts, etc., give them the, oh, this typewriter is not really good. I will send him duplicates and add my own personal experiences in psychic or soul flashing gathered through to last 30 years. Interesting, interesting, interesting already. And inclusive a brief but concise outline entitled 3 Years Under Psychological Control. The last 3 years and over. Much of this data concerns you and your work. I hold no grudge. I have honor. I shall mention no name, and what I hold is sacred to you and your work on conditions. If your wife is a laxawacken, communicate with her, uncertain whether you were at Long Key, Florida, or elsewhere. I gave Mr. Carrington your home address and know it will be to your credit and benefit to share this data for the common good. Now, so far this sounds kind of like a personal letter, not a somebody who's a fan of his. So, let's see. I found you in a psychological moment when faith was crunchified and you faced failure. Don't deny or ignore this. I read your mind, felt your anguish, and your fear, doubts assailing. Ever before, you, the empty purse, the literary ruin, inspired you, lifted you up. Now I claim you. You are mine, and I'm going to be the death of one self or the man. Ooh, this sounds like a weird love letter from a psychic. This is the last effort among progressive people for a glimpse of the divine, of human sympathy. This is your test, yours and Mr. Carrington's. And if Mr. Carrington don't understand, and understanding don't care to investigate, and if you fail to stand this test, and I am through, I belong to nature, the mother mystic, and the powers she gives me are mine. And I'll live and let go to the last sleep on her breast. And she has given me evidence of my immortal soul, the consciousness of God. Out here, I learned to pray, God, thou art all, I kneel to thee. Then uplifted, I had the power to say, the powers of life are thine, and they will in me. With my feet firmly planted on eternal laws, the rapture of virtues divine, energy flowed upward and lightened my darkened brain, and the spirit of the brotherhood of man manifested, love, universal love, and I found all the things men call astral phenomena interpreted, that I learned that as long as men ignore righteous call to redemption of the body and defense of virtue, he will follow reason, desires, and impulses and ungoverned passions that spring up in defiled mind and body. Follow blindly, always seeking proof, the proof that is born of purity, unfolding consciousness. There is, however, an ulterior motive in this sudden outburst after I said goodbye. A fight for Edna, my dream rock child, and in her name, for all young girls, she has vanished, found in the river, identified by her relatives. So they think I am strung. Woo, this is getting interesting. In ribbons, grilled suspicion for complicity in the disappearance of Edna, a cult woman. I taught her doctrine. I taught her my doctrine and lured her from her home and people. Peasantful, uncouth, embittered, revengeful, and perhaps deceitful to hide their own wrong abuse of her. They have stung their venom in their heart and hand of the only woman who has ever tried to do a kindly deed for the sweet young girl, and so tied me hand and tongue, made it impossible to come to her defense. Alone, I have fought and gathered evidence, indifferent as to what was said or thought of me, intent or solving the mystery of finding Edna, of saving her from any horror or anguish she might have met. Damn public opinion or Ausstrassen when a woman's soul is at stake, and damn the double standard of morals that seals an innocent victim with unforgivable shame. What good are books, the psychological researchers' data, the church's doctrinated religion, and the lip prayers of the members, the moral code, the veneer, the posing charities, the social standards, as long as girls are sacrificed to men's ungoverned passions, God's plan defiled, and motherhood laid low? What good are soldiers who grovel in lust and crawl in the faith of unhappy wives and mothers and prospective mothers, and betray and trail virtue in the dust? Protectors? ? Beauty Stantons are angels in the comparison with such demons in male attire. Man, this lady was mad, I guess. That good in the marriage vow, when it gives man the power to say, you are mine to do with what I will. As long as men ignore the barnyard and the lesson it holds, their place in God's plan for the perpetuation of the pace was good in his man-made laws. Wow. This is how people were talking back in 1922. Or she was trying to write a book or something. I don't understand. If Herewith Carrington awakens to the vital importance of this is like me saying millennium. Psycholo research work applied to the betterment of the pace, the dawn of a new day is nearing. If not, I have done my best. Finding no response, I'll give the wisdom of the woods for this. Simple truth is going forth if I must do it myself. I am humble. I know my limitations in the world of literature. But so help me God, I will find the way to give the true light free. This letter is kind of annoying and intense. It goes on all here and all here. And I think it's kind of like, it's somebody on a rant, maybe talking about like an affair of some sort, or she's trying to show her kind of skills. I don't know, but I think that you've heard enough. I think I've heard enough, I've read enough, and this letter to Mr. Zane Grey, who was at this time out in Long Key, Florida, is ready to be retired. I'm going to put it on an auction. If anybody wants this letter, let me know. It's going to be going on an auction in about a week or so. So, yeah, a piece of history right here from some unstable person. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Nowadays, you can't say anything, but that's the letter to the author for today. And stay tuned, because I have all these to go through before they go bye-bye. You know? Hopefully the next one won't be so crazy. Alright. Thanks for watching. Remember, I have the Tea with Betty B is on Saturdays with my sister. We open up vintage packs of cards and new packs of cards. We alternate. And then Valley Beans channel, where I have the sports. And stay tuned, because more new things are happening and new productions are happening. So have a great week. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.